What's good, everybody? This your boy Blackout Jones, and the Tennessee Volunteers had a big recruiting weekend this past weekend. They were able to get 4 commitments in 2 days, and what I'm hearing is that there is more to come. I'm gonna talk about that and a whole lot more here at Just Shooting the Sports with Blackout Jones. Let's get it. As I was saying at the top of the program, the Tennessee Volunteers are able to get 4 commitments this past weekend. Those 4 commitments go by Kendrick Ghostin II, Edward Baker, Zayen Anderson, and Legend Bay. Hey, man, Legend Bay is a cold ass name. I swear it is. Legend Bay, well, he's about to become legendary here at the University of Tennessee. We still have a couple of more recruiting announcements that are coming up. I know we have some that are coming up tomorrow. We have 2 gentlemen from the state of Mississippi, and Darian Gilbert or Darian Albert and TJ White. So what I'm hearing, all predictions are pointing to the University of Tennessee to land both of those gentlemen that are coming from the same high school. Also, we have we had Joel Wyatt that was going to commit on July 6th, but he has ended up pushing postponed his announcements for a later date, which we don't know what that later date will be. Other guys that had commitment dates. Brandon Anderson, he decided to commit to Missouri. What I've been hearing, I think it's more of a numbers game since we ended up getting inside offensive lineman Edward Baker, and then on top of that, I've also been hearing that the coaching staff has been feeling very confident on the interior offensive lineman that we already have at the University of Tennessee. So in other words, it was kind of like a numbers game. And when you decommit, this is what you run into if you want to recommit to the university that you decommitted from. The university is not going to stop. They're going to continue to recruit and continue to recruit because they're not sure that when you decommit that you are going to recommit, to that university. So they got to keep the ball rolling, just to make sure that they have, their players and make sure they have the number of players that they need in order to, compete. In the meantime, the other commitments that are, pretty much noteworthy right now in the 2026 cycle, we also have offensive tackle Gabriel Ascenda, wide receiver Tyree King, edge rusher Zach Groves, and tight end Carson Sneed. Well, we know Carson Sneed has kind of been a back and forth. We don't know what he want to do, so it wouldn't surprise me if he decommits and he commits somewhere else. Wouldn't surprise me one bit, but if he does decommit, hey, good luck in your future endeavors and with your future team. If you decide to commit with UT, hey, we love to have you. That's all I'm going to say about that. But right now, following these recent commitments, Tennessee 2026 class is now ranked 15th nationally and also number 6 in the SEC, according to On3. They're also ranked number 22 nationally and number 8 in the SEC by 247 or 24/7 Sports. The class right now, we have 1 5-star recruit, 6 4-star recruits, and 6 3-star recruits. And we got plenty more coming. Trust me when I tell you. I think we're going to have a couple of more 4-star recruits. I'm hearing Darius Gray is looking good for University of Tennessee right now to land that 5-star offensive lineman as well. Tristan Keys, my man been playing. Hey, starting to sound a little bit like Rocky Top every time he talks. I saw his interview with I think it's On 7 or wherever they're at. They have where they have all the top position players come in and do their thing. I saw him talk about Tennessee and how he glowed about Tennessee, how him and Faison Brandon, they're homies and they're real close. But what made it key for me was when he said, I feel comfortable at Tennessee. Now, when they asked him about all these other programs like Miami, like Texas A&M, and even LSU, who he is committed to, not once did he say he felt comfortable. So that was big, coming from him saying that about the University of Tennessee. And of course, he's been there plenty of times. And of course, Faison Brandon. And Legend Bay has been in his ear, hey, come join us. We can do something really special here at the University of Tennessee. So we just got to sit back, wait, and see. But in the meantime, let's talk about Legend Bay here. Legend Bay chose Tennessee over his home state, Texas A&M Aggies, and he's actually the second wide receiver that's in the 2026 class. Now, his coach, who is Marcus Shavers from North Forney, he said that Legend is the best football player, I believe, in the state of Texas with the ball in his hands. He also stated, I think he's really good at getting the football down the field, and I say that knowing that he's a real general statement, but that is a real general statement, but I think he's the best football player with the ball in his hands anywhere on the football field. Understand, this man plays quarterback for North Forney High School, but he's a Swiss Army knife. He can do it all. On top of that, that man has a 10.2 speed, 10.2 speed in the 100 meters. So he is really fast, and he squats over 550 pounds. A very gifted athlete at best. So he's a big get for the University of Tennessee. I'm hearing that they're going to put him at wide receiver, possibly in the slot. Some Jalen Hyatt work. I mean, he could be the next Jalen Hyatt. If not, he could definitely be the next Legend Bay, being legendary at the University of Tennessee. And I'm all for it. The next person that's up is Greenville, Tennessee's own Zayen Anderson. Not only he's a receiver, but he's also a DB. He announced his commitment this past Saturday. Now, the in-state Anderson chose to play for head coach Josh Heupel and the Vols over his other finalists, which was Cincinnati and Toledo. He said he grew up in Tennessee, and it just felt like home. Now, he also has tremendous speed and big play ability, and that when he's lined up in the secondary, he has the traits to run with just about any receiver in the SEC. With Anderson, what stood out for him was the culture. But I think, with Tennessee, they have him playing. They're going to have him playing defensive back, and you know how many defensive backs we need. But he also can run a 10.71 speed in a 100-meter dash, and he clocks at 21.5 seconds in the 200-meter, basically helping his team win the state championship. I wonder why, because that boy got speed. But that's what we need in this offense. And we got the number one quarterback coming that can throw that ball, that can zip that ball with the best of them, I believe. Coming up next, we have offensive lineman Edward Baker, who also committed to the University of Tennessee. Now, Edward is 6'4", 315 pounds. He's a three-star recruit, but he is out of St. Francis Academy. And if anybody knows, that's kind of like a pipeline for us. We had Dominique Bailey. He's also an alum from St. Francis Academy, and we've had a whole host of others as well. Even though he's a three-star, understand who he plays for. St. Francis is a powerhouse. And on top of that, he has not allowed a sack last season, his junior season. So if a powerhouse is playing and consistently playing powerhouses on their schedule, and he hasn't allowed a sack, that man might be more than just a three-star recruit. And for all we know, he could be a 4- or 5-star recruit. And that bodes well for us and our offensive line in the future of the University of Tennessee as well. Now, that man held over more than 20 schools, offers from 20 schools, including Ole Miss, North Carolina State, Arkansas, Virginia, Alabama, Auburn, Boston College, Florida, and Miami. He is also the number 50 interior offensive lineman in the class of 2026 and number 18 player in the state of Maryland. So, ain't nothing but sky's the limit for that man. You know what I mean? So I'm very excited on this. I'm very excited on the players that have committed already. I'm more excited for the players that are going to commit in the future. Now, in regards to Joel Wyatt and his commitment being pushed back, well, right now I'm hearing that it's a 50-50 shot. It's either between Tennessee and Vanderbilt. Now, I know people are going to sit here and say, what you mean Vanderbilt? Why Vandy? Why not Tennessee? Well, there have been talks around that have been saying that Tennessee wants Joel Wyatt to play the edge. Joel Wyatt doesn't want to play the edge. He either want to play wide receiver or DB. Hell, if he could, he can do both. Well, Vanderbilt is offering that. They're offering him playing receiver or DB. Tennessee seems like they're not budging, but who knows? Things may change because he could be a great asset to us. He could be a great asset to any team, but we definitely want him here at the University of Tennessee. So as of right now, Tennessee is gaining momentum. with the recent commitments, boosting their class rankings. And what I see here is there's a good mix of in-state and national talent in this class. But they're also saying some of us fans are concerned about the team's national ranking, but their SEC ranking is considered a better indicator of success. Like I've said before, get the recruits in. Sometimes you don't need to worry about the star level. It's all about developing. It's all about coaching. And in the past, we've seen that. We've seen some of our 3-stars become 4 and 5 stars. Hell, have gotten to the league. So don't worry about that. See what the play looks like on the field. If you need to go check the highlights of some of these high school players, feel free to do so. YouTube is out there for you. YouTube is your friend. And you come up with an idea of what you think, that person, how do you feel that person will fit for the University of Tennessee? Well, in the meantime, this your boy Blackout Jones. This is Just Shooting the Sports. If possible, please like, share, comment, follow, hit the notification bell so you can get all this, all this fire content from your boy. But anyway, I'm going to holler at y'all. And as I always say, go Big Orange, go Vols.